I found out my wife was cheating on Christmas morning. I, 34M, used to love Christmas more than anything. I loved the lights, the warmth, the stupid music on the radio. It always felt like a time when everything was right with the world. Until last year. Now I can't even look at a Christmas tree without feeling sick. I was married to Emily, 32F, for 7 years. Together for 10. We met in college, and she was my whole world. She was funny, artistic, smart, just the kind of woman who lit up any room she walked into. I always thought I got lucky, like she was out of my league. And maybe she was. Last Christmas, everything seemed perfect. At least on the surface. I had spent weeks planning the perfect morning. Our daughter, Lily, 5, was finally old enough to really enjoy the holidays. I bought her a dollhouse and stayed up till 3 a.m. Christmas Eve assembling the damn thing while drinking hot cocoa and watching It's a Wonderful Life. I even ordered matching pajamas for all of us. The corny kind with reindeer on them. Emily laughed when she saw them but wore hers anyway. Christmas morning came, and Lily was over the moon. Paper flying everywhere, toys scattered, cinnamon rolls in the oven, all the clichés. Emily was smiling, but something about her felt off. I chalked it up to holiday stress. But then her phone buzzed. She was in the kitchen getting coffee. I didn't mean to snoop, I swear I didn't. But when I saw the name flash across the screen, my heart dropped, Ryan Redhart. I stared at it like it was a bomb. Ryan was a coworker of hers. She mentioned him in passing a few times, always casually. I never thought much of it. But that heart emoji felt like a punch in the gut. I told myself not to jump to conclusions. Maybe it was nothing. Maybe it was innocent. But curiosity, and fear, got the better of me. While she was upstairs with Lily, I opened her phone. The passcode was the same as always, our wedding date. I almost laughed at the irony. The messages were all there. Weeks worth of texts. Flirty, suggestive, explicit. He called her babe and told her how he couldn't wait to wake up next to her one day. She said things like, being with you feels right, and I wish he wasn't home so I could come over. There were photos too. Things I wish I could unsee. I sat there shaking, feeling like my whole world was coming apart. My hands went numb. I could hear my daughter upstairs, laughing as Emily helped her unwrap something. That sound used to be the happiest thing in the world for me. In that moment, it was unbearable. I didn't confront her right away. I couldn't. I didn't want to ruin Christmas for Lily. So I played along. I smiled, took pictures, helped with dinner. But inside I was dying. Every time Emily looked at me, I had to fight not to scream. That night, after Lily was asleep, I asked her about Ryan. Her face went white. She tried to lie at first. Said they were just friends, that the heart emoji didn't mean anything. But I had the texts. I showed them to her. She broke down crying, said she never meant for it to happen, that she still loved me, that it was just emotional at first and then mistake. She begged me not to leave. I slept on the couch. I felt like I was in a nightmare I couldn't wake up from. Fast forward a year. We're no longer together. The divorce was finalized 6 months ago. We agreed to co-parent, and I'm doing my best to give Lily a good life. Emily moved in with her sister for a while. As far as I know, she's not with Ryan anymore. Or maybe she is, I honestly don't care. I go to therapy every week. I still flinch when I hear Christmas music. I haven't put up a tree. I don't know if I ever will again. People always say holidays are for family. But no one ever tells you what to do when your family breaks apart on the very day it's supposed to be strongest. I'm not telling this story for sympathy. I just needed to get it off my chest. If you're reading this, and you've gone through something similar, you're not alone. Betrayal hurts like hell, especially when it comes wrapped in lights and ribbons. But you will survive. You might even find joy again. Just maybe not at Christmas. A year after Christmas betrayal, I met the man who ruined my family. It's been a little over a year since I found out on Christmas morning that my wife, Emily, was cheating on me. For those who didn't read the first post, I discovered the affair when I saw messages from a coworker named Ryan on her phone. That Christmas, I went from building a dollhouse for our daughter to watching my marriage fall apart. I stayed silent the whole day for the sake of our 5-year-old, but that night, everything unraveled. Emily confessed, begged, cried. I slept on the couch and never saw Christmas the same way again. We separated in January, divorced in June. And while I'd love to say that was the end of the pain, it wasn't. March. A few months after the split, I started seeing signs that Emily was still seeing Ryan, even though she swore the affair ended. I wasn't checking in on her life on purpose, but we have a kid. There are pickups, drop-offs, awkward small talk in front of Lily. And I noticed small things: perfume she only wore for dates, new earrings, her humming songs I knew weren't her style. One day, Lily came back from a weekend with her mom and casually mentioned, "Uncle Ryan took us to the zoo." That hit me harder than I expected. Not because she met him, I knew it would happen eventually. But because Emily lied. Again. She told me she wasn't seeing him. She told me Lily wouldn't be around anyone new until we agreed it was appropriate. And yet, here we were, 3 months post-betrayal, and she was already bringing him around like some family friend. That was the first time I truly hated her. May, the confrontation. This part still plays in my head like a movie. I was out grocery shopping when I saw them, Emily and Ryan, holding hands in the wine aisle. She didn't see me at first. He did. And the way he looked at me. Like I was just an unfortunate footnote in their love story. Like I was the outdated model and he was the upgrade. I walked right up to them. "Me, so, this is the guy." Emily froze. Ryan looked smug, but unsure. "Emily, it's not what it looks like." I laughed. Actually laughed out loud. "Me, you said you were done with him." "Ryan, maybe don't do this here, man." "Me, you screwed my wife, lied to my kid's face, and now you're telling me where I can or can't talk." Ryan stepped forward like he was going to say something stupid, so I beat him to it. "Me, you know, Ryan, I used to think you were just some faceless homewrecker. But now that I see you up close, I realize you're just pathetic." Emily tried to de-escalate. Told me to leave. I did, but not before I looked her straight in the eyes and said, "You two deserve each other. But our daughter doesn't deserve either of your lies." I walked out without looking back. July, the divorce. I pushed for full custody. I didn't get it, we share 50/50ths, but I got what mattered, a structured parenting plan and a clause that said no new partners can be introduced to Lily without mutual agreement. Guess who wasn't happy about that? Emily cried during the final hearing. I didn't. I kept my dignity. September, the message. Ryan messaged me. Out of nowhere. On Facebook. "Hey, I know we got off on the wrong foot. I just want you to know I care about Emily and Lily. I'm not trying to replace you. I respect you as her father." I didn't respond. What do you even say to that? But it made me realize something: this guy thinks he won. That he swooped in and saved Emily from some loveless marriage. He has no idea. He wasn't there when Emily had postpartum depression and I held her while she cried in the bathtub. He didn't pull triple shifts while she finished grad school. He didn't paint Lily's room yellow because Emily said it reminded her of sunlight. He just showed up, flirted in Slack, and broke apart 10 years of love and struggle. He didn't win. He inherited the wreckage. December, 1 year later. This year, I let Lily help decorate the house. We baked cookies. We hung stockings. I even let her put a mini tree in her room. She asked if we could invite Mommy and Ryan over for hot cocoa. I told her, gently, that it wasn't a good idea. It hurt. But it didn't destroy me this time. I've started dating again. Slowly. Cautiously. I met a woman named Hannah through work. She knows everything. She's kind. She listens. She doesn't flinch when I say I'm still angry, still healing. I still go to therapy. Still have nightmares sometimes. But I'm starting to rebuild. Not for Emily. Not to spite Ryan. But for myself. And for my daughter. Final thoughts. If you've ever been betrayed, especially by someone you built a life with, I see you. There's no quick fix. No clean ending. But there is clarity. And eventually, peace. Christmas will never be the same. But maybe that's okay. Because this year, on Christmas morning, Lily ran into my room, jumped into my bed, and shouted. "This is the best day ever." And for the first time in a long time, I actually believed her. 1 year after the affair, my ex-wife knocked on my door on Christmas Eve. It's been a full year since the Christmas morning I discovered Emily's betrayal. I've posted twice before, once when I found the texts, and once when I ran into her and Ryan at the store. Since then, I've been doing my best to rebuild. Therapy, co-parenting, slowly dating. I finally stopped checking her social media. I thought I was past it. Thought the worst was behind me. I was wrong. This Christmas Eve, I was home alone. Lily was with her mom this year, we alternate holidays. And I had accepted that I wouldn't see her until Christmas evening. I wasn't sad about it. Honestly, I was proud of how far I'd come. I even had a small tree up this time. It wasn't much, but it was something. I was just about to pour myself a glass of wine and watch a movie when I heard a knock at the door. I thought maybe it was a neighbor. Maybe someone dropping off cookies. But it was Emily. She looked awful. I don't say that to be cruel, she just did. Pale, no makeup, her eyes red like she'd been crying for hours. She wore a coat I bought her 5 years ago. The buttons were missing. I didn't say anything at first. Just stood there, staring. My mind trying to catch up with what my eyes were seeing. "Can I come in?" she asked. I hesitated. Everything in me screamed, "No. Don't open this door. You've healed too much to let this woman back in." But I stepped aside. She walked in slowly, like she didn't belong. She didn't take off her coat. She stood by the fireplace, staring at the tiny, glowing tree. "I shouldn't be here," she said. I didn't argue. "I know I'm the last person you want to see. I didn't know who else to go to." "What happened?" She turned to me, eyes glossy. "He cheated on me," she said. I felt nothing. Not joy. Not satisfaction. Not anger. Nothing. It was surreal. "Ryan?" I asked. She nodded. "With someone from his new job." I found messages. It's like déjà vu. I bit the inside of my cheek. Hard. "Déjà vu, huh?" She flinched. "I deserve that." "No. You deserve worse." Silence. She sat down on the edge of the couch, gripping her knees like she might collapse. "I've been thinking about you. A lot," she said. "About what I threw away. What I ruined." I crossed my arms. "It's a little late for that, don't you think?" "I know," she whispered. "I just needed to say it." And then she said something I didn't expect. "I miss being your wife." It hung in the air like smoke. I didn't respond. She looked at me, tears rolling down her cheeks. You were good to me. Better than I deserved. I took it for granted. I thought the excitement with Ryan meant something real. But it didn't. It was just noise. You were home. And I destroyed it. I wanted to scream. I wanted to throw her out and slam the door. But what I felt was something worse, pity. I sat across from her. Not close. Not warm. Just, across. You made a choice, Emily. Over and over. And now you're here because he turned out to be a liar too. No, she said. I'm here because I wanted to say I'm sorry. For real this time. Not because I got caught. Not because I want anything from you. Just, because it's haunted me. I've been trying to pretend I'm okay. That I chose right. But I didn't. I was a fool. You gave me everything, and I broke it. She reached into her coat and pulled out a small wrapped box. For Lily, she said. I won't stay. I just wanted you to give this to her for me. It's a necklace. The same one I wore when I was her age. I took the box and set it on the table. She stood, slowly. Merry Christmas, she said. I walked her to the door. Just before she stepped out, she turned to me one last time. You look happier than I remember, she said. I am. And then I closed the door. That night, I didn't cry. I didn't rage. I didn't drink myself to sleep. I just sat on the couch, watching the lights on the tree. Remembering the man I used to be. The one who would have taken her back in a heartbeat. The one who thought love meant forgiveness, no matter the cost. I'm not that man anymore. I don't hate her. I don't want revenge. But I don't want her in my life beyond the co-parenting boundary. The next day, Christmas morning, Lily ran into the house and into my arms. Her cheeks were red from the cold, her smile bright. I gave her the necklace. She opened it and gasped. Mommy wore this when she was little, she said. Yeah, I said. She wanted you to have it. She hugged me so tight I could barely breathe. And in that moment, I realized, I didn't need Emily to come back. I already had the best part of her. Epilogue. A few days later, Emily messaged me. Just a short text. Thank you for not slamming the door in my face. That meant more than you know. I didn't respond. Not out of spite, but because I didn't need to. Forgiveness doesn't always mean reconnection. Sometimes, it just means letting go, fully, finally, and without looking back. And this Christmas, for the first time in 2 years, I felt free. A quiet new year without her. It's been a week since Emily showed up at my door on Christmas Eve. She hasn't reached out since that text. And honestly, I'm glad. Something about that night closed a chapter in my life that had been half open for too long. Hearing her say she was sorry, it didn't fix anything, but it released something inside me. I didn't even realize how much of her I was still carrying until she walked out that door. New Year's Eve came and went quietly. No parties. No big resolutions. Just me, Lily, and a cozy night with popcorn and a movie. She fell asleep before midnight. I stayed up, but not to count down. I sat on the porch with a blanket, watching the sky. No fireworks. Just silence and cold air. And peace. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like something was missing. I didn't need closure. I had it. I didn't need revenge. I had peace. I didn't need her. And that felt like freedom. She finally let go too. A few weeks after Christmas, I got an email from Emily. Short. Respectful. I've decided to step back from co-parenting exchanges for a while. My sister will handle pickups and drop-offs until I get myself together. I hope that's okay. It was more than okay. It was relief. She didn't try to justify. Didn't try to explain further. No guilt trips. No emotional manipulation. Just silence, the kind that actually felt healthy. Lily didn't ask where her mom was those first couple of handoffs. She just smiled and ran into my arms like always. Kids sense things, even if they don't say them out loud. And I realized, Emily wasn't the center of my life anymore. She was just someone I used to love. Someone who gave me the best gift I've ever received, my daughter, and then quietly disappeared from the rest of the picture. And for once, that was enough. A small beginning. It's been almost 2 months since Christmas. Yesterday, Lily drew a picture of our little house. She colored the sky blue, added snow, and wrote, "Me and Daddy's happy home." I framed it. Last week, I went on my first real date with Hannah, the woman I'd been slowly getting to know. We grabbed coffee, talked for hours, and I didn't once mention Emily. Not because I was hiding anything, but because, for the first time, she wasn't in my head. Not even in the background. Just gone. There was no drama. No big moment. Just quiet. And sometimes, that's how healing really happens. Quietly. Finally. I saw her again, and it didn't hurt. I saw Emily last weekend at the grocery store. It had been months. She was walking down the frozen food aisle, alone, in a long gray coat. For a second, our eyes met. She gave a small smile. I nodded. That was it. No words. No awkward attempt at conversation. Just two people who used to share a life, now walking separate paths. But here's what struck me most, my heart didn't race. My hands didn't shake. I didn't feel pain or anger. I just felt nothing. And in that moment, I realized. I didn't just survive her betrayal. I outgrew it. 1 year later, I finally let love in. 1 year after everything, I took Lily to the park on a warm spring afternoon. She ran ahead, chasing birds, her laughter echoing through the trees. Hannah met us there. She brought snacks and one of Lily's favorite books. They sat together on a blanket, reading, giggling. And I just watched. Heart full in a way I hadn't felt in years. This time last year, I was shattered. Now, I'm whole. I thought betrayal would define me forever. But it didn't. Love did. A different kind. A quieter kind. But real. And that made all the difference.